to help with ED and to help them with premature ejaculation and whatnot. Yeah. But they were starting to use metal ones, very thick ones, versus the kind that I can't think of the company. Help me, Colleen.
Well, we've got male to male, and we've got
what's the one? The funny one with the the big dude, the big dude that came to the.
Oh yes. Oh my God, Megan is if
she would kill us.
She would absolutely. We had ox balls.
Ox balls.
Yes,
that's who I was thinking.
Yes,
those are silicone. Right?
Some of them not. They're high end. They're high end TPT. Whatever. There's no phthalates or anything in them, but they're very stretchy. But they go back down. You want to use something like that.
The point is to use those because they in an emergency they can be cut off, whereas these metal ones, if they can't get them off, they can cut off the blood supply, and really, really, really bad things can happen.
Yeah, we do sell metal cock rings, but they are not what I would start with. I mean, you need to know what you're doing and what's going on and the right size. Some of them are adjustable, but a lot more of the silicone rings and stuff like that have become a lot more popular over the years, and adjustable ones.
Well, they seem kinder and gentler to me. Just saying. Yeah. Do you remember? Did you years ago go see the movie The Handmaid's Tale back in the 80s?
I never saw the movie, but I
didn't.
But I did read the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
The movie. I didn't read the book.
That's one with Natasha Richardson was in it. Right?
Yes,
yeah.
And absolutely chilling.
It's a fascinating yet horrific story, and I know don't they have a new one?
Well, it's coming out. Hulu is doing a series starring Elizabeth Moss of Mad Men fame.
Okay, yeah,
she
I know
played
who she
the
is.
Peggy. Yep, that premieres actually the 26th. So this coming Sunday, I guess it would be. But yeah. In light of that, and there has been just a rush on all of the copies of the original book in public libraries across the nation, like you can't find it, and even the downloadable versions.
Maybe I should sell mine.
Yeah,
I might still have it. It was a paperback that I got, so whether or not it's lasted all these years, it might be buried in my book somewhere. I have just a few books,
a couple, yeah. Yeah, it was unbelievable. But I'll be really curious to see her in this role and what they'll do with it in a series sort of setting. Because the movie, if you have time, watch the movie. The actors are brilliant. I think it's Faye Dunaway.
And Robert Duvall.
And he was terrifying.
Aidan Quinn plays the driver. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but the... I had read the book, and I tend not to go see movies after I've read the book because... You can't put everything into a 90 minutes to 2 hours. And it just, I'm like, and I had this idea in my head, of what's going on. So that's one of the reasons I don't, I went to see, one movie that I think the book and the movie did a really good job. I mean, they left out like 90% of the movie, but Hunt for Red October.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They did a good job on that one. Plenty of story left without all the stuff they left out.
Oh, yeah. Another one that I think followed pretty well or was not disappointing was Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I'll take your word for it because that ain't not happening. I'm not reading it. I'm not watching it.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to know.
That was I think that was my big, oh my God, the book is as good as the movie's as good as the book kind of thing. And normally I'm disappointed too, Colleen. I totally get it. Couple quick stories that we didn't get to last week that are definitely worth noting. New Hampshire.
Okay.
Did you read about they're trying to decide on a bill that would require schools there to give parents 2 weeks notice before teaching sex ed or human sexuality. And so the introducer of the bill said, my objective would be that parents would be more engaged in these conversations with their kids as they're happening at school. And so, the opposition is that you're blocking sex education. But the bill sponsor says, well, the schools were asking forgiveness versus permission, and they just would like to get families more involved. Thoughts?
You're sending your kid to school to learn things. So honestly, I think the rule should be that all the parents have to go take the class.
You know what? Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
No, I'm pretty sure that I got a slip.
I remember my parents getting slips.
I think you can opt out. I mean, it's Ask 9, but it really doesn't make any difference because the the kid that comes home, okay, the kid that's being not being told anything might learn something, and if they do, and if they say anything and go home, mom and dad are gonna say it's all wrong anyway and mess with their heads. So honestly, maybe not getting any information at all would probably be better because I don't know. They barely cover basic how sex works, much less the part of sex that kids don't understand, which is how do you know the person likes you or right. respect or consent? They don't even get to that stuff.
No.
They're just like, here's an ovary and the egg comes down to the fallopian tube and here are the testes and here's the vas deferens. Half the places don't even show you how to put a condom on. We talked about the gym teacher who was showing how to put a sock on his foot and made a video of that because he wasn't allowed to explain how a condom worked.
So he did a sock.
So he did a sock on his foot, making sure there was a reservoir tip on his sock before he put it in. I thought that was a brilliant thing. The teacher, a teacher, someone that's supposed to impart knowledge, thought it was so important that somehow this information get to his students.
Good for him.
And I would just, honestly, you need a permission slip to go to the park for the school party. But it just seems like it should be a no-brainer that they learn this stuff. But whether you opt out your kid or not, if the person's going to be an idiot, opt them out. What do I care? You're going to be the moron, and the kids that learn something will go farther in life.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I knew that I would get a reaction.
I can't.
That's why I brought it up. So Bill Cosby, we haven't talked about him in a while, but apparently, surprise, surprise, he has a children's book series, and it was among the 10 most challenged books of 2016. This comes from a list compiled by the American Library Association's Office for Intellectual Freedom. And they consider a book challenge when someone like a parent or a community member complains and tries to get the book removed from a library or school curriculum. And this series was first published in 1997, and they tell the adventures of Bill Jr., a little 5-year-old boy from Philly. And they were the basis for the animated TV series, which I grew up watching. You might have too, Fat Albert. Which I loved Fat Albert when I was a little kid, and I'm sure it would be ripped to shreds now on PC. I haven't watched it, don't remember it. I just remember liking it as a kid. Don't hate me. But these books are now being challenged because of all of the many, many sexual abuse allegations, assault and abuse allegations made by numerous women, and the controversies that follow him. What do you think?
You don't ban books.
Okay.
You just don't. You don't buy it. Don't check it out.
Don't support it.
Don't support it. That's fine, but you don't ban them. You may not like that. You may not like that stuff. I don't care. Honestly, it's a kid's book. Yeah, if you don't want it in your house, if you don't want to buy it and and have him get a royalty check from it, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But it's in the library. It's just fun. And you can. Just sort of like. If the old Cartoon Network doesn't want to run Fat Albert, that's a business decision. But the book's in there and it's fine. And you do not ban books.
I agree.
And just going through there, it's just, honestly, if it was a book on feminism by Bill Cosby, I could see the library just going, well, we'll just put this in the fiction department. But that's. Don't waste your time on shit like that.
Absolutely. Okay.
I make it a point sometimes of seeing if I can find. Did I miss a book on the banned books list?
Right.
I considered it a recommended reading list.
There you go. And not a bad way to operate, I might add. And you know what? Just chill the hell out, get a penis straw, and have a margarita, for God's sake.
Oh, yeah. Now, mind you, we've had vagina straws and boob straws. Honestly, if people want to know about equal opportunity, they don't tend to sell very well for us.
Oh, yeah.
There's just a certain... And we've asked for things that are not pink into things to be, a little bit more gender neutral for stuff. And we're working with companies, but it's something that I've been asking for let's see, as of March 17th, I've been officially full-time at Fantasy Gifts for 28 years. And it's something I've been asking for almost that long.
Oh, my God.
But it's a little frustrating, but we try. I mean, honestly, I can't purchase something and put it in the stores if it doesn't exist. And then some things like dental dams, I don't care how many times we ask for them, I can't sell them.
That you guys said that.
They get outdated. I sell almost, I mean, it's almost nil. I mean, I don't sell them.
And you guys have made a fine point of this many times that it's not that you don't support the idea. It's just you cannot move them and you're a business at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I just have to tell you about this goofy thing that happened to me really quick on Friday. So this one corporate client of mine, I do a podcast with their CEO, and he is serious mover, shaker, up and coming thing. And I went into the studio that we built for this there. And last Friday morning, there's this giant inflated blue, silky, huge, and I'm talking as big as this table, which is a 6-foot table probably. It had air in it, and it was kind of a triangle. It looked like a vagina. Okay, I mean, it looked like a big giant baby blue vagina. I think it was some part of a like a convention display or something.
Well, I've seen these big sort of air lounges where you fill them up with air, and then you like tie them, and then you can like bring it to like a music festival and stuff. It's a big chair.
It didn't look like you could sit on it. It looked a little too delicate for. I know. I walked in there. I'm like, there's a giant blue inflated vagina in the studio. Okay, so I'm sitting there. I'm like, whatever. I'm a consultant, so I don't, say much. So here comes the CEO, and he stops me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that is. And he's like, well, and I said, well, I wasn't going to say what I thought it looked like, but he goes, I think I know who put that in there, but I don't know what it is either. I still to this day don't know what the fuck it was. Big giant blue vagina. So, and God, I wonder if that's like blue balls. Very scary. Anything that we need to know about any events coming up before Pride that are of note?
No, the St. Louis Park store, we're replacing the slat wall on Monday and Tuesday. So
it'll be closed?
So it won't be open.
Okay.
And that's, of course, if the slat wall gets taken down at the other store that I closed. But, so it's still, that's supposedly still on schedule.
Okay.
We are going to be at the Beer Fest. I'm sure all that information is on the city pages.
Okay.
Site, and I'll see if I can remember to get Megan or Liz to put that on the on the page. Okay. Links to it. I think it's going to be over in the West End, over in that St. Louis Park area.
Okay,
so perfect. It's going to be over there.
And come say hi.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, because we're going to have
podcast listener. Come and say hi.
We're going to have the prize wheel, which means you pay $1 and it goes to charity, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff that we've been getting in that's going to be available on the prize wheel.
Okay, and if you're just listening on audio, go to the Great Northern Sexcast Facebook page and check out Colleen's latest broadcast.
Check out the gnome guy, like I said, gnome condoms mine
and the boob ball. Have a great week, Colleen.
You too.